I'm not even kidding. When it was the 1 year anniversary of me coming into trading full time, I thought some magic switch was going to go off and I was going to get to the desk and I was going to be taking payouts left, right, and center. And it literally was the worst month of my trading yet.
Just a goal of mine to fill a space of loneliness for traders and to just have a voice for the people that are in the same spot as us. And there are a lot.
It's almost the transition of my thinking that has helped me get through the last few months is I'm not even I'm running a business anymore. It's I'm a creative artist.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, we are making money from being creative. We're seeing a pattern, we're executing a thesis on that pattern and allowing it to play out. That's pure creativity.
Scalping
well, I guess
strategy.
we gave you something to think about.
Yeah,
maybe that scalping strategy and being in and out of a trade quickly and being done for the day might be the better answer for me than being the smart trader that I think I want to be. Or do that make sense?
One of the things that I think makes trading so difficult is that you have to become your own referee. And, you know, if you're working a job, you have a boss, you have someone telling you what's right and wrong. Whereas in trading, not only do you not have a boss that's holding you accountable, but a lot of times it's hard to even know at the beginning if what you're doing is right or wrong.
A red day does not mean I'm a bad trader. A red week does not mean I'm a bad trader. It doesn't mean I'm not going to be successful. So I have to stop feeling like that, or almost talking to myself like I'm not good enough, or I'm not there yet, or all these things.
This is Behind the Charts podcast, where real traders have real conversation.
Welcome back to the Behind the Charts podcast, everybody. This is episode 10, and I think pretty crazy that we made it this far. We've been just trying to stay super consistent with it, and I think we've been enjoying this podcast a lot. We really kind of started it because we were already having a call ourselves every week, and we were just chatting about all things trading. We're like, this is such good content. And, and then you add the gap of what's missing in the education space. And, this really fills all the holes. So, what are your guys' thoughts? Christine, give me the lay of the land. How are you feeling about the podcast? What's going well? What do you want to see us continue doing?
It's funny. There's this, we've made the joke before, so you guys have heard it, but when we were looking to do the podcast, I think Thomas had looked up some stats on successful podcasts. And it was basically 0.1% of podcasts make it to episode 20. And therefore, once you do that, you're successful. And I'm like, oh, so we have to just do this thing over and over again with no results until one day we're successful. I'm like, got that. I am 100% down, easy peasy. I've been doing that for the last however many years with day trading. I can be a successful podcaster if all I do is just keep going. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, I know this is going to do well, because we're very talented at doing the thing you need to do until you get the payoff. That is one skill that I have down, and I practice every day. So here we are with a podcast that I feel very happy about. I mean, what did we get? 100 subs on the YouTube channel.
167 views on our most recent, over 100 subscribers now.
Yes.
Thank you to everyone. Yeah,
yes,
seriously. We know we got returning listeners.
Yeah, Spotify, we have people saying, hey, great podcast. I think it has always been just a goal of mine to fill a space of loneliness for traders and to just have a voice for the people that are in the same spot as us. And there are a lot. There are a lot of traders that are exactly like us right now. And for me, it's always just been about helping them to feel like they're not alone, because that's such a crucial point in keeping me in trading. If I didn't have you guys, if I didn't have the community that I have, I wouldn't be successful at trading, although maybe I'm not there yet, but I know that I will be, just because you guys don't let me quit. I have people, holding my hand down the journey, and not everyone has that. So for me, that's what the podcast does, or I hope that's what it does.
And what about you, Randy? How are you feeling about the podcast so far?
I every time, I just literally looked over and opened the page, and we got 124 subscribers and 179 views on our last video. I still remember when we made our first video and we had our first, 5 subscribers, 9 subscribers, and the comments started to come in, and then say episode 5, people started to hit me on my DM on my socials, the pod's fire, this, and this, and then it just morphed into, to be honest, like bigger than I expected already, and I can't even imagine where it's going to go. Because if I feel how I do now, when this thing actually really does, expand into something for a massive audience, I think it's going to be super cool. So that, and just like Christine said, having these discussions, like there's so many times probably in the last year where we've sat, the 3 of us, and had a conversation, even including Austin or James, like we've had just even on these trading in-person events, that I wish everybody could listen to, because it's just brings reality back into perspective, right? And today was one of those days for me. I blew 7 accounts, 7 funded accounts. And, we'll get into it later, but it's just, people don't talk about it, because when they make these mistakes, they just go into their hole. And as much as I want to go crawl into a hole, it happened on the day I'm filming the podcast.
It's almost like you planned it.
What better place to talk about it, to be honest, right? And I get to walk through what happened. I get to hear your guys' insight, your guys' advice, and then obviously it'll help me cope with it. And that's it. I think just a place for traders to even if they don't have a community or struggle with just they're introverts and they want to be behind the screen trading, and they're really good traders, at least this gives them an outlet, just something to watch and to feel that real conversation versus just watching the same podcast over and over and over again, right? Like ours is every week is something different, and this week it's probably going to be Randy's blown accounts. That's what the topic of the conversation will probably go back to. But I just want people to know,
but it's deeper than that, and that's what this whole podcast is about. It's not just about the blown accounts. Who cares? That's just a little bit of money, and it's more about the process of trading and how we're recovering from that, and how we're making sure that we don't just give up. Because I think Lawrence's podcast last week was so amazing, because so we're starting to get a lot of new guests on, and for anybody who's listening to this podcast and feels like they have a topic or something that they want to converse with us about, like in an open conversation, please hit us up in the DMs and let us know, because we want to have these conversations, and we know we only have so much information in our brains, and we want to hear from everybody, because that's really what this is all about. But I kind of wanted to lead into what was the standout point of last week that's really sitting with you. And for me, it's just the concept of we're all regular people, and we're all shooting and striving for this really, I don't even want to say it, but a really unattainable goal. It's such a small percentage of people that actually achieve what we're all looking to do. And Lawrence was just so open about that, and he was really open about the being human. And you get this David Goggins effect in the high performance sport or trading, whatever. It's just in the high performance arena of, kind of fuck your feelings, just do the work. But Lawrence was really down to earth and had a really good balance, I feel like, of, where you can apply that mentality, but also where you should give yourself some grace. And Randy, what's sticking out to you after that podcast? What's a thought that you're still having?
Well, the thought of just embracing the journey, forgetting about the destination. You'll get there when you get there. And it's now that Lawrence said that, and it's stuck in my mind. This morning I was doing a little 10-minute meditation I do every day, and he just talked about how back in the day, a sailor, whatever it was, would just set their compass. They would know their coordinates. They would just pick a direction and go in that direction, knowing they're going to get to the point they need to get to. Where here we live in an age where we're getting pulled all over the place. And it's like, I have to remind myself, I want to be a full-time trader. This is what I want to do. I know I can do it. I've surrounded myself with like-minded individuals that have the same goal. I just got to remember my ship's pointed in that direction. Maybe I'm going to reach land next week. Maybe it's going to be a year from now, right? But as long as I can just focus on, I'm headed in the right direction, and I will get to the destination. It's just like embracing the journey. Like we're all on this journey, and it's crazy when you really think about it. It sounds so simple, but we're all on a journey. We're all going to get to the destination at different times. Let's embrace this podcast every week. Let's embrace our conversations. Let's embrace everything else. And then, even like the delayed gratification, the payouts and all these other things, and the private jets and all the stuff that we dream of that will, if we really want, we will have. I'm not even kidding. I'm being serious. Let's just enjoy the ride. And when we get there, we're going to look back and be like, oh shit, thank God we enjoyed the ride, and not it just went by and now we have all these things that we, either make a difference in our lives or not.
Right.
So that really stuck with me from that, and just, and I can't stop thinking about it. So
that's a great way to put it. I really feel like you summarized that really well. What stuck with me, and it's kind of Thomas already talked about it, and a little bit what you said, Randy, is like how we treat ourselves during that journey. I feel like, at least for me, I've tied up a lot in this endeavor, a lot. And I'm not talking just monetary value, because yes, I've invested a lot, but I'm talking the time that I've invested, the self-worth I've invested, the want and need I've placed on this. So it's a lot. And when you aren't at the point that you want to be, it's easy to treat yourself badly, or to talk to yourself negatively, or to get down on yourself. Like last week, I was just down about it, and Lawrence really helped with how you treat yourself. And I think he even had a post today about having a red day and what you need to do to kind of turn that around. Go out for dinner, go do something great, like make that red day different. So it doesn't affect your emotions. And I really liked that, because a red day does not mean I'm a bad trader. A red week does not mean I'm a bad trader. It doesn't mean I'm not going to be successful. So I have to stop feeling like that, or almost talking to myself like I'm not good enough, or I'm not there yet, or all these things. And know that I'm on the journey, and I'm going to get there when I get there. I just have to keep going down the same path. And the other practical thing, which I know we're going to talk about in a little bit, is backtesting, because I started that. So that's actually been really great. And we can talk about that in a little bit. But those were the two things that I really resonated with from last week.
Something too, I just want to add, because I hope it shows in like the authenticity of the conversation. But like for me, even just being online with that Zoom call, when he's saying like, it took me so many years to get here. And you hear everybody say this, but it's different when someone's telling you that, and it's not on a podcast. So like, I felt that so hard of, it's going to take years, and you just have to keep pushing, because I want to have another podcast with Lawrence to go deeper on that as to why. Because I was having a conversation with a coworker. He's about my age, and I've known him for a couple months. When I told him I day traded, he looked at me and laughed, and just didn't understand. And oh, what? So you're making hella money now? No, I'm not. But I'm in college still. That concept didn't make sense, and it ended up turning into like, not a negative conversation, but a very one-sided conversation. And I feel like every trader has experiences with that. And maybe just for a quick sec, we could touch on that, of like, we're still in it, but we know people who are through it. And like, maybe why does it take so long? Like, very hypothetical. Why does it take so long? And, yeah, why? There's no clear answer for me.
I think Lawrence talked about it last week, And I think the biggest thing that he said for that was this is a high performance career. It's like you don't walk into medical school on the first day and you're able to do brain surgery. I mean, that is a high performance career. You have to go through years and years of studying. And am I equating trading to brain surgery? No, but I think brain surgeons take double the time it's going to take us. So, but it just shows you like you have to put a lot of effort into learning the skill. And then on top of that, there's the psychology, there's the mental aspect, because you can learn a strategy and trade it poorly when the next person trades it wonderfully, like the same exact strategy. So there's the personal aspect. It's like this weird version of a very technical but creative skill. And I'm trying to look at it more like it's more of a creative endeavor for me, because then I can almost be a little bit easier on myself, because there's no right way to be creative. There's multiple ways, and everyone is going to be uniquely different in how they are creative within the market. So yeah, I just think I think it's just not an easy skill. Like it's not an easy job. Honestly, it's not easy.
Yeah, no, I think, no, like Christine said, I think it just, I went to, out of high school, I wanted to be a machinist. So I went to university, like a technical college. I did like a 4-year apprenticeship and I worked my way up, and it was a 4-year apprenticeship. And like how I did it in levels where I had, my first year, my second year, third year, fourth year, and then each year you go and apprentice under someone and they teach you, come back, you spend, 8 weeks or whatnot in school. And it took me 4 years to get my Red Seal ticket. And the thing, when you actually think about it, and just even thinking about it now, talking about it with you guys, I was introduced to things, as a beginner, as medium, and then all the way to an expert. Where here is trading, we're throwing ourselves into the ring, and if we want to, we can put the expert hat on day one. Be like, I can read a VWAP, I can read technical analysis, I could do this, this, and this, but have no control over your emotions. When I was working as a machinist, if I, was working on something and I messed it up, I would get mad, but it's just like you could do it all over again. With trading, it doesn't work that easy, right? So I just think that people come into it thinking it's going to happen. And I'm one of those. I'm guilty of it. Coming into it thinking, you know what they say, 3 years? I'm going to do it in a year. I know I can do it in a year.
I'm a trading prodigy. I'm the new best trader there is.
And then we come into a group and we start trading and we hit a, wicked patch of like green days. And it's like, I got this figured out. And it's like how I said to both of you before, I'm not even kidding. When it was the 1-year anniversary of me coming into trading full time, I thought some magic switch was going to go off and I was going to get to the desk and I was going to be taking payouts left, right, and center. And it literally was the worst month of my trading yet. My 13th month of trading was terrible. 14th month, I got a payout, which is crazy. And then, I've had some really good trading and I'm back to this place of struggle again. And I think the three of us are perfect examples how the last 2 months, all three of us have been in this, at some point in the last 2 months in this just phase of like really questioning what we're doing here. And
fair, very fair.
All three of us are sitting here having this conversation. If I would have asked Thomas a month ago, you might have questioned your future, and Christine 2 weeks ago, and me today. Right? Like,
yeah.
And something Christine said. Go ahead.
Sorry. If you're in a business, like let's say we weren't day traders and we're like, okay, I'm going to start a painting company and I'm about to go into my 3rd year, and people say, well, how's your financials? And I'll be like, oh, we're still losing money. And they're like, I'm sorry, you're going into your 3rd year of business and you not only don't make any money, but you are losing money. You would be told like, stop, you're not doing that. Right. You don't, I understand things take time, but if we're talking from like a business perspective, you wouldn't continue on that path either the same way, or you'd close that company down and start something different. Trading is different. You don't do that, but we have this expectation in our mind, and people like you were talking about, I hate telling people that I'm a day trader.
Right.
Because then they ultimately ask me, well, how much money do you make? And then I have to say, well, I don't make any money.
Know.
You should ask them how much money they make.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you touched on it perfectly, Christine, of like, it's almost the transition of my thinking that has helped me get through the last few months is it's not even that I'm running a business anymore. It's I'm a creative artist.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, we are making money from being creative. We're seeing a pattern, we're executing a thesis on that pattern and allowing it to play out. That's pure creativity. The business end of it is like an artist, you know, like you make the painting, you got to sell the painting. You're a businessman for selling the painting, but you're a creator and an artist for creating the painting. So we kind of play this double faceted role, and seeing myself as a creative person has really pushed me to like, to be like, okay, why do humans exist? Why are humans gaining, like, what makes us happy? Being creative, creating things, having that you get that euphoria, that dopamine from doing something you like. And the more I lean into that, the more I expand my time horizon, the more I see it as a career, like how Lauren said. And you know, the less I get hung up on the time.
Because if you look at an artist in your mind, if that artist told you, oh, it took me 10 years to become successful and now I have a gallery, you'd be like, oh, great. You wouldn't think, oh, that was a long time, because we know how long it can take for you to hone your artistic endeavors, to find your style, to find your audience, all these things. So if we kind of equate ourselves to more of artists, then the time horizon doesn't feel as bad.
Yeah,
100%.
no, I love all of that. And even just to touch on it a little bit more, I think as time goes on, like time has gone on for us, you know, the first 6 months are the hardest. The first year can be the hardest. And I think as time goes on, you just start to understand, like this, like Thomas just said, time horizon. And, you know, we're a year and a half into this, and before you know it, it's going to be 2, and then if not 3. And it's the way time passes. It's like, it's kind of scary because you're like, I've been doing it for this long. Well, you got to remind yourself, I've been doing it for this long. Not I quit. I did it for this long and I quit. I'm still doing it for this long, right? So it's just, you know, for the people out there that do struggle through the first few months, you know, really stay with it. And if you have a game plan, like it's like I always say, I think if anybody puts in the time, the effort, the work, they can be a profitable trader. It might take them 2 years, it might take them 3 years, it might take them 5. You have a system, you follow it, you have rules, you know, you get your mind in check, and you control all these factors. There's no reason why you couldn't be a profitable. No if and there's like no magic potion, none of that shit. Like, it's just, you got to put in the time, the effort, and you got to have the discipline. And I think it's like, you know what, I don't have that discipline right now. I'm lacking it in this last few weeks. So,
well, you know, that leads us right in perfectly. Let's get into it. One of the things that I think makes trading so difficult is that you have to become your own referee. And, you know, if you're working a job, you have a boss, you have someone telling you what's right and wrong. Whereas in trading, not only do you not have a boss that's holding you accountable, but a lot of times it's hard to even know at the beginning if what you're doing is right or wrong, especially because of the amount of information on both sides of the equation. And, you know, overall, it's been a difficult task for me to find a balance between, you know, I'm the one that slaps my wrist, but also gives myself the most praise. And I think Randy's message kind of this morning prompted me to think about this. Of, you said, I'm not mad I lost the account. I'm upset with my trade management. And that's you knowing how to be your own referee. So like, let's talk through, you know, what happened and how you're able to determine that.
So for me, I think I've just been, and Christine knows this, and Thomas obviously too, and Christine's been on the stream daily with me. So like she's seen it firsthand. But I've just been struggling with account management. I'm trying to scale, copy trading, whether to take profits aggressively, and, you know, getting great advice from other traders, and just, you know, trying to overthink it and think way too much. And it just led me down this road where I had these 7 accounts, and last night I took a trade I didn't need to, and managed to get some of the losses back, and came into this morning with not much drawdown left in them. Anyway, so I decided not to trade them. I traded a challenge account, and had some nice trades, and I was 2 for 2. I was good for the day. And there's something about when we're at all-time highs, and I say this all the time, it's just a euphoria. Like this euphoria comes over you as a trader. You see something on Bookmap, and you just think this thing is going to keep going. And so, lacking discipline, wanting to, have, I got to separate the real wins, thinking that me taking the trades in the combines weren't a real win. When I took the trade, whether it's all sim money, whether it's a challenge or it's a funded account, it's all sim. The thesis played out. Like those are trades. I got to count them as trades, but I don't, because I don't put a monetary value on it. So anyways, I took a high day VWAP break. I had a solid thesis. Everything, I had my levels. This is what I'm going to do, but I just sized in way too heavy, not taking into account the drawdown I had left. And when these trades happen to anybody watching this, and it's going to happen to you multiple times, price pulled back on me, basically hit my max loss limit, the accounts are gone, and price went all the way back to my target. So if I had just had the discipline to be like, I'm not going to try and make, double in this move. Let's just do what I do and do it consistently. I'm going to put size on and go for the gusto because there's only this much drawdown left. Well, that lack of discipline basically cost me 7 accounts. So I wasn't upset with losing the accounts. I have to understand that. Everybody watching this has to understand that we're trading prop money. At the end of the day, I lost $1,400 today. I've been trading it for almost a month, so it's like I'm down $1,400 on this month, but I've taken $6,000 in payout. So I'm really down. I'm still down. I'm up $4,500. I'm going to put it that way. Why I was able to detach from losing the accounts. It was my trade management that led to me to be, that's what I was upset with. Because if I didn't size in heavy, I'm a good trader. I know what I'm doing. But, these mistakes you make, anybody that I told that is not a trader or doesn't really know how I trade would be like, you're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I couldn't go out for a beer with my buddy tonight and be like, hey man, I did this and I did this. And he'd be like, you're an idiot. Why'd you do that? You don't understand why I did it, right? It's where I could tell Thomas, and Thomas be like, yeah, I would have just sized in a little less. Like, you're silly for sizing in too much or something, right? So yeah, and then it was like Thomas is saying, this referee thing, it's a double-edged sword, because at the same time you can give yourself praise, slap yourself on the wrist, but when you want to, you can bend which way you want to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be hard on
so slippery.
So slippery,
slope.
right? I walked out of the room, and the first thing I said to Hillary was, I lost my 7 accounts. And she looked at me, and because she hasn't heard me say that in quite some time like that, she was expecting it to be not good, not well. She's like, are you okay? How do you feel? And I'm just like, and I said exactly what I said to Thomas. I'm not mad I lost the accounts. I just don't like my trade management.
Yeah.
She was really stunned. And I think that conversation with her made me realize again, I don't need to be hard on myself. Right. And I think she saw that, and then she wasn't worried about me being hard on myself, which didn't make me worry about her worrying about me.
Yes.
So it in a roundabout way, it's just, again, stepping away from the prop game we're in. But like, yeah, that's what I can say about this whole I don't know what's right and wrong when it comes to how you reprimand yourself, like on the bad side, on a bad day, like because you can easily go from like giving yourself constructive criticism to beating yourself up, to putting yourself down, and all of a sudden, like Christine was saying, that self-talk, and it's instead of like, hey, so maybe it's the way, Thomas, I said to you that I wasn't upset I lost the accounts. I'm upset with my trade management. If I came into the conversation saying, Thomas, I'm an idiot, I blew my accounts, we might be having a different conversation. I don't, and again, these are the things.
It's you being your own referee in the best way possible.
You don't think about it until after you have this conversation, or somebody watches this and then they're cluing. They're like, oh, actually, on a girl DM'd me, and she's a great trader, and we're talking about trading, and she said it was actually Krista, the Fit Mom Trader, and we were talking about had a bad trading day. She had a great trade. I actually messaged her to say on her story, I'm like, great, I can't believe you caught that bottom. I got tossed around in the chop and took 2 losing trades, and she's like something about taking another trade and it being dumb, or something about getting to a payout. And she's like, every time I get close, I'm dumb. I make a mistake and I come back. And I said, Krista, I'm like, you're not dumb. I'm like, you're just impatient. Don't call yourself dumb. Call yourself impatient, because that's all it is. She's not dumb. She's a great trader. She's just getting impatient when she gets close to the payout.
And it's like, if you can work on impatience. If you call yourself dumb, how do you work on that?
Yeah.
I love put on a dumb set.
I love this topic of this creative endeavor, because it just made me think of this. It's like, if I'm an artist and I paint a painting, like my afternoon, I like to do something creative. So I painted a picture for my kids today. I can't paint. I'm not an actual artist, and I painted it and it was great. And I'm like, oh, I did clouds. I don't love the way the clouds look. I'm not going to say to myself, that was a mistake. What I say is, I'm going to try to get better at painting those clouds, so the next time I paint that, they're going to look better. So is there any moment where we should reprimand ourselves and say this was a mistake, or is this just more layers on our learning process of saying, I sized in, not great, and I'm going to try to get better the next time I make this trade or I make this art piece. I want to get better at this.
I struggle with that, because it's like, at what point then are you not holding yourself accountable?
To what though?
Yeah, that's
accountable.
Making a different decision. Is that at the end of the day, does it come down to making a different decision, or is it about the way you view it? Because there's this poem that Megan told me about that I've been thinking about all the time. Basically, it's summed up. It's we observe trees. When we see a tree, we just see it as a tree. Oh, if it's a little small, it lacked some sun. If it's tilted, it's toward, whatever. We just observe the tree as it is. But we don't observe humans as they are. We draw conclusions about the humans. We make interpretations, all of these things. And the way you said that made me think of this, of like, I forget the exact point, but I really liked what you said about just the way you see the mistake and how to correct it.
And it kind of goes in line with how you treat yourself. Like, do we look at these as mistakes? Like, do we say, okay, I made a mistake in my sizing, or is it I got greedy, or like I need to expand my handling of my size on my next trade? Like, just spin it so that you're not looking at yourself thinking you're doing everything wrong all the time, because there's 1,000 things that you can mess up on in a trade. Like you just talked about a bunch of them. Your entry was fine. Your stop was fine. All of this stuff, but there's like all these ticks. And if you have one thing wrong, why like beat yourself up and say, oh, that was a mistake? It's just, okay, we didn't get all of the things we needed to on this one. Let's try to make that better. Let's try to make these clouds look better the next time.
It's some level of reframing, because at Tampa, Tanner, the strong trader, was on the stage talking about, oh, when you have those good days, but then when you just go through that period and you're writing in your DRC every day the same thing that you need to work on. And I'm so guilty of this. Like, I caught myself doing this the other day, of like writing for like the 3rd time in the week, you need to be better at this. But then I stopped and I was like, I keep writing this, but nothing's changing. I need to reframe it. And yes, I don't have the answer right now for how to reframe it, but like these are the thoughts that need to be spoken and like need to be worked through, because to get to that high level, you need to have an answer for this, so that you're not stuck doing the same mistake 3 days in a row, telling yourself at the end of the day to fix it,
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Well, that was great. Let's let's go into the next thing, because I think we had a really interesting conversation on Monday, the three of us, about our strategy, and this will be a little bit more on the technical side. So just expect that with this end of the conversation, because I've found a way that I like reading the charts extremely well. Like this whole week, literally on Monday, I had theses on the 15-minute chart to the shorts where my targets were and on the upside. And then now I woke up this morning, was looking at the charts. All my theses played out, and that means nothing. The thesis could play out or could not play out. But what I really enjoyed about it is like I was able to create this 15-minute hourly high time frame thesis and then execute trades on the 1 minute or maybe soon the 5 minute that like represent that. And I know Randy has a similar thing going to me, but the conversation was around Christine not necessarily feeling like she has that for herself. And I want to just kind of talk through, how are you working through that, and how are you gonna find the light at the end of the tunnel and change and grow from this experience, because I'm sure a lot of people listening to this or in the audience would be in a very similar position.
Yeah, I mean, it's the age-old question about strategy, right? Like the thing that you hear from the very beginning is don't change your strategy. Like you need to pick one strategy and just keep going. Like you don't want to be a strategy hopper. But I think as time goes on, you start realizing there are different strategies for different personalities. And the crazy thing about trading is you really have to learn what type of person you are and what strategy goes best with you. And I think Randy has been going through some of this. He's kind of trying out some management things and seeing which matches with him. And I really got to a point that I felt like I actually don't have a strategy that's like my strategy, because I was trading the VWAP, I was trading bottom of range to top of range, I was trading high of day breaks, low of day breaks, just whatever, like I know a lot of strategies, but I was trading them all, and not one specific thing was really, I can't say for sure that this is my thing, like you can, Thomas, or other successful traders can. So what I'm doing to help with that is basically, from coaching call with Austin, from his suggestion, I'm going with the VWAP trades, meaning my entries are only on the VWAP, either long or short, depending on which direction it's going. And then the other thing that I'm doing is backtesting those entries. So I've never really backtested before. I'm backtesting on TradeZella. It's amazing, and I think it can be used for a lot of different things. But what I'm doing is just backtesting this one entry. And my goal is to get 1,000 trades, which might take me 1,000 years because I've been doing it for about a week and I'm only at 50. But I don't do it all day, every day or anything like that. But what I think it's doing is, like Lawrence said, giving you confidence in a strategy, which I need. I need confidence in a certain strategy. And it's also kind of helping me discover what my better management is for it. Like I'm still in a very unknown stage with this particular strategy. I'm not sure if it's for me or if I need to figure out a different way to manage it to make it for me. So, but either way, I will go through this. I'll probably trade it until I'm done the 1,000 back testing trades. And then I can make a more educated decision because I have data to back it up. And I'm also trading it live. And then I also have experience to back it up. So I'm really looking at it like more of a testing phase. And then if this doesn't work for me or I'm still not enjoying it, then I will go and I will do it with a different strategy. I'll do the whole process again, just with a different strategy. And I do think that if you are in the same position, put on your scientist hat and do these tests, do these projects, because it'll make a difference in the long run. If I can figure out what my strategy is now, I can spend the rest of my career perfecting that strategy. And I think that's when I will see success. But if I'm forever in this like unknown place of trading all these different entries and not really knowing which one's mine and not focusing on one, it's going to take a lot longer for me to find success.
Mm-hmm. And kind of like what I hear you saying is like, I already have so much screen time with this one thing that I can't just let go of it. I'm not a strategy hopper. I'm not just going to let go of it. But if the data doesn't back it, then I mean, how can you stay with it?
Correct. It can't just be data in my head. It has to be data on the paper, because I
Yeah.
have a lot of data in my head, but you can't always rely on that because you put your own perspective on it. So,
yeah, no, and that.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, Chris.
No,
just kind of
keep going.
like what Thomas just said. Like I'm in the same, and this is where I'm kind of at, like in my journey, is why I'm exploring trade management now, because I have a strategy, I have a thesis, I have what I use, and I know it works. I'm just now exploring how do I maximize that strategy for my personality. Do I take profits aggressively and copy trade 100 accounts and stack up wins like that? Or do I let my thesis play out with smaller size and then, have these bigger wins? But with that comes this level of conviction and confidence.
Mhm.
So it's like, that's my struggle, is do I play 5 micros for 10 to 15 points and be like, that's a killer trade? Or do I just, in the same direction, take 5 points of momentum with more size? The same thesis, same everything, but just in and out of the trade faster.
Yeah.
So I think
So how are you working through this, Randy? This is perfect. You have two different styles, and for you, what maybe give like one piece as to why you're leaning towards one way given a set of your personality.
so for me, obviously, I think uh the letting, having the big trades play out. I think just with my age, being older, coming into this, feeling like I have so much to prove since I've done other successful things in life, that when you see my markup and you see me catch the move, 2/3 of the move or 3/4 or half of the move, you're like, shit, that's a good trade. Like, he read it well. Where the other ones, like today, I had 2 great trades, both for 5 points, with enough size on them that I was totally happy with the profits I took. I took what I needed to, and both those trades I could have played out for another, 5 to 10 points more. So, and I said to Christine on stream, as I zoomed out and I had my 2 little markups on the chart, I'm like, look at my piddly little trades. And it's like, even the language just saying that to myself, it's like, I don't know if I need to just explore it more, because like I have conversations with Nick Jocelyn, and he trades, he looks for 1.5 to 3 points on a trade, but over 54 accounts, and he's trying to tell me to stop overthinking it. Like, he's like, it's funny because he's always like, I talk to him quite a bit now, but he's always telling me, Randy, just you're overthinking. Just let it, like, and he broke it down. I don't know, Thomas, if we had the conversation about with these funded accounts, if I'm risking 10 points per account, $250 on 10 points, I have $2,000 of drawdown. I have 80 points of drawdown. He's like, you need to lose 80 points of drawdown. And if you're trading, risking 10, he's like, that's 8 trades in a row. He's like, when do you lose 8 trades in a row? And I'm like, those days I tilt, and it's happened. There's 3 or 4, who knows how many times. But other than that, all 3 of us don't use. It's not a regular occurrence of losing 8 trades in a row. And when he framed it like that, and he's like, then in between those 8 losing trades, you're going to have winning trades. You know what you're doing. Christine knows what she's doing. Thomas knows what he's doing. Don't overthink it. Don't think about trailing drawdown or this. Just understand you have this much drawdown. This is your strategy to get to where you need to get, and just go from there. So that's why I kind of went back to this, like, 5 points today. So
I think that you should backtest this. We've talked about this.
the problem with me, Christine, is I don't know if it's like ADHD or whatever it is. It's really hard for me to take something and focus on it when it's like watching Futures 101, or when I first joined the BSC, like I hammered through all the first original videos. I have not seen Futures 101 or Futures 2.0. I mean, sorry, I have not watched a video of it. Right? There's so many videos that I want to watch on YouTube that come up in my feed that like are just interesting videos about levels and trading and this and that. I haven't watched any of it. Bookmap. There's over 10 million great probably videos on their Bookmaps Discord is amazing, and I hype it to everybody that asks me about Bookmap. I haven't seen any of it, right? So I'm afraid that like I'm gonna tell myself I'm gonna backtest, and I didn't backtest, and I'll use it an excuse why I did this or why I did that. I'm more like forward testing if that's a thing. That's what works for me. Like I just gotta keep burning my hand until.
Yeah, I mean you can say that, but you haven't tried backtesting.
No, I'm not
And
knocking backtesting.
You don't have to go for 1,000 trades. Do 20. Like do 20 trades that is your normal style, and then do another session that's 20 trades with the new management and see how they compare.
Can I get you to do it for me and then let me know? I'll tell you.
No.
Let me ask you this, Randy, because this has been so real for me.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a fear or an unwanting to do the work of literally sitting there and backtesting, or is it a fear of the outcome not being what you wanted? Or what you like projected to be in your head? Because we all tell ourselves that we have a profitable system. That's what we all fucking tell ourselves. But you know,
I think it's gonna be, as much as I want it to be the latter, I think it's gonna be the first. Like I think it's just, and again, like I consume myself with so much stuff at the desk sometimes. I'm one of those people that will be so mentally exhausted some days and I don't know what I've done. And then when you walk outside to your spouse and your child, who have been just amazingly supportive, it kind of, I don't know. I get hard on myself then. It's like, what did I do in my office all day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like why? Like I could be outside. Like I'm at home. I could be outside spending time with my family, and it's like, so for me, like again, like, and then maybe so I have that in my head. Then I do the back testing. Then it doesn't give me the answer I want, and then I'm like, oh shit. Now I'm even more of a terrible dad or partner, even though I don't say that about myself. I'm exaggerating, right? Like,
yeah, but it's real. That's real.
Yeah,
that's so real, especially working from home. Like, and we all live with our spouse or partner, or whatever. Yes. And how all you want to do is just like, okay, I'm done working and let's go get lunch and do that. Like that's the easiest thing to do. And there are days where you just leave and you're like, I think I just spent 5 hours doing
nothing.
And when it comes to like a day, like, and I do this to myself every so often, where you just get stuck in the charts and you have a tilt day, or you have a day where you're like, not even tilting, but you're just in a trade longer than you need to be, hoping the outcome is going to be different, not accepting the loss or the small profit or whatever. And it just chops. And then you leave the desk and you feel like 10 years of your life have gone by. And it's like, was it worth it? So I try to limit what I do when it comes to trading in that sense. Like even I was making so much more content before. If you've noticed, I've totally slowed it down, because some days I would take half a day to make a video that, it was,
gets 20 views.
Yeah. And I would get a comment and somebody would say something great and it would make me feel great and I'm helping somebody. But it's just like, my son is like, I want to go take him. He's starting swimming lessons now, right? So I want to take him. So it's like all these struggles I have. And I think that's why I get impatient, and then you blow accounts or size in too heavy, get greedy, all these things. Like, so maybe that scalping.
I guess we gave you something to think about.
Yeah,
maybe that scalping strategy and being in and out of a trade quickly and being done for the day might be the better answer for me than being the smart trader that I think I want to be. Or do that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, like that he caught the move, like Austin. Christine ran away.
Dang. No, do you see that? There was a big old wasp.
Did you? I have had this.
I saw that. That was fucking huge.
You saw it, right?
It's been attacking her. It's been attacking her all day. I wish you were on stream.
She
literally fell on the ground screaming. She was gone, and 2 minutes later, she comes back with a coffee. And we're like, everybody's like, "Where did you go?" I'm gonna get Jay to make a clip of it. It's so good.
Oh my gosh!
But,
sorry, not to interrupt the flow, but I'm being attacked by bugs.
So it was about the. Do you want to be the smart trader?
Yeah.
And sit at the.
So the other day on stream, I like the shorts. I got induced into a long. My second trade was a short. And then the rest of the day's shorts played out. And I had a whole thesis behind my shorts. And then Austin put a comment in the Black Shirt Club. He's like, Randy, great read on the shorts.
Right.
Do I want Randy, great call, read on the shorts, or
Money in your bank account?
Yeah.
Or like you traded your system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
You just executed your thesis. Something I've been thinking about a lot from one of the David Capablanca seminars was he said, in our chat room, we never used the term nice trade, good trade, never. And that was so interesting to me because when I go and try and like go in someone's DRC and want to review their trade or whatever, in my head, I think, oh, nice trade. But how am I benefiting that person? Am I inflating their ego? Am I, like how, I don't know why they took that trade. They could have just taken that trade out of sheer like impulse, So it's like, you just made me think of that, Randy, like how the community that you're around talks to you and interacts with you about your trades is very important. And I think it's not taken into consideration enough.
Yeah, I actually do that a lot. I should watch myself because I'll say nice trade, good job. And it's because it's a winner. But if it's a loss, I'm not feeling like nice trade. Like sometimes I am. Sometimes if people are like, I'm down $100, I'm like, great, $100, that's it? That's amazing. But that's interesting how we say it. And are we looking for the validation of someone looking at our trades and thinking we're a good trader? Or are we in it to be financially successful and free?
Exactly. And just quickly, here I am. I can show you my calendar. The last 2 months have been amazing, great trading. And literally the last 5 days have been like the worst. I feel like the 5 days ever. And I feel like I put pressure on myself because everybody around me is like, Randy, you're trading so well. You're doing this. And then all of a sudden, when I have a bad stretch, it's like it makes it that much worse. And I got to remind myself, like Austin said to me on the phone yesterday, you're having a bad week.
Right. Not the end of the world.
Not a bad month, not a bad year. You're just having a bad week. Right?
And we know the stories of traders that have crazy drawdowns, like 6 months of drawdown, and they still make $1 million that year. We know this, but to experience it ourselves and to not be hard on ourselves is a whole nother skill in itself.
I feel like we covered a lot here.
Yeah. I think we should really talk about where we are in our accounts and stuff because this is our 10th episode. And I think on episode 20, we should come back and do the same thing just to see where we're at.
Okay. So I'll go first. Christine's busy. So basically we'll just say in June, I got a new set of Top Step combines, passed them, ran them up in the month of June, lost them at the end of the month. Okay. That's good. Restarted. And so I passed them like early this week. I passed them on Tuesday. We're recording Thursday. So I traded them Wednesday and that's it. So I took one long yesterday, took a loss and then flipped short and made back most of that loss. So I'm at like minus $100 on my XFA.
You have 3 funded accounts with Top Step and you're copy trading them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. My goal, make 2K, take 1K out of all of them and take a 3K payout.
Okay. Nice. I currently have 3 straight to funded pro accounts with Top 1 and they are in drawdown $643. I'm copy trading all of them. And I don't have that much drawdown left, maybe about $1,000, under $1,000 actually. So I would love to be able to crawl my way back out and maybe I can, maybe I can't. And maybe I lose these accounts. I think if I lost them in the course of trading, I would go for another 3 because what I would really like to do is take a payout, the full payout, which I think would equal $7,500 on like with those 3 accounts added together. That's what I would like to do.
So for me, it's like my typical fashion. I'm going to put all this pressure on myself, but I was trading 7 50K pro accounts, and then I went to add 2 more once you could go to 9, but there's a difference between the 2 accounts. So anyways, those 7 are gone now. I lost those today. I've had those since, I can't remember even when that promotion came out, last month. I'm trying to think that.
Beginning of June or something like that. Like
So as soon as the promotion came out, I got them instantly and I started trading them. Prior to that, I had a 2 150Ks one I took a payout on. I left no buffer in it. I took when you were able to take a full max payout. So basically killed that account. The second one I traded on the side and I killed that account. And now, so right now I have 2 50K pro, the new updated accounts with the smaller drawdown.
Okay.
Those are both 500 in profit. And I haven't quite decided yet how many, but today or tomorrow, or probably tomorrow, because I think the sale ends tomorrow, I'm going to either get 5 or 7 more accounts and either trade 7 or 9 of them all together and copy trade them. And if I do 9, it's like a 22,500 payout. So again, I'm swinging for the fences. But I'm going to approach this that if it takes me 3 months to get $22,500 payout, I'll be fine with it. That's how I'm going to approach it. So I think I'm going to go, like, as we're talking about this, I think I'm really going to hone in on this, in and out of trades. Just take $100, $125 out of a trade on 9 accounts and do that, see how that works. And just, what the problem was the last 2 weeks, and Christine knows, is I was flip-flopping one day, one trade management, the next day extra. So I need to.
That's tough.
I need to invest the money. You guys know I'm a good trader. I know I'm a good trader.
Yep.
So if I take 3 or 4 points out of every trade and I don't catch the whole move, it's not going to change your impression of me as a trader.
Nope.
So I'm just going to put my head down. The investment's going to be the $1,500 investment. I'm going to be into it, and I'm just going to go. So that's the plan.
What would change my impression of you as a trader if you got a $22,000 payout? It doesn't matter how you get there. I don't give a shit how you got it. If you got it, that's what changes my impression.
I'm buying us dinner in LA.
Yes.
And the goal is to get the payout before LA. So that gives me lots.
No pressure on yourself, though.
On a quick side note, there is an event. David Capablanca and Austin are doing an event in LA on October. Christine's going to be there. Thomas is going to be there. The 3 of us will be there. So anybody watching this, tickets are going to run out, but definitely, if you guys want to come hang out, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do a fun little dinner or something, like just whoever, like our community.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go out for a fun little night. So if you're in the LA area, the early bird tickets are on sale, I think, till the end of this week. So get your we'll see what happens next week when the pod comes out.
Yeah, but I can't imagine they're gonna go up that much. They're like $280 right now. They'll probably go up to like $350.
Yeah.
And so I would just $50. It's not a big difference.
Yeah, I would just say, hit us up, comment, hit one of us up in our DMs, and let us know you're coming, and we'll plan something fun. It just, and these in-person events are literally a game changer for your journey. I think it just
100%
re-energizes you, puts you around like-minded individuals, and look at the 3 of us here. We are a year and a half later, and we talk every day, all day. So
and in 10 weeks we are going to come back, and we will see where we are with our accounts.
10 more weeks.
10 more weeks.
Yep.
Will be our 20th episode.
Technically, this is our 11th episode.
Yeah.
Because we have the pilot.
No, I don't include that. That doesn't count.
Okay. All righty. Well, Christine's a tough critic.
We have a surprise guest, a big surprise guest.
Yes, a big surprise guest for our 20th episode. We're hopefully going to have made payouts, made our goals, be up $100,000. I'm manifesting it now.
Yeah.
And before you cut this off, Christine, can we see the painting?
No.
Maybe on the 20th episode.
Yeah.
We want to see it before, and actually we want to see 2 paintings on the 20th episode.
When I can paint clouds better, you can see it.
Oh, come on now. It's probably beautiful.
Oh, man.
Oh, I guess that's it.
That's it. All right. Let's wrap it up, guys. Cheers, everybody. And I hope you have a great trading week.
Love you guys.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.